What's up? It's John from RealGamerNewz, and you're watching RGN Today. Today in Real Gamer history, May 21st, 1984, the Atari 7800 Pro was announced. The Atari 7800 only had 59 games produced for it, and it failed despite its extensive backwards compatibility and cheap price of $140. According to the fans, the best games released for the Atari 7800 were Asteroids, Motorcycle, Commando, Galaga, and Centipede. Joust was also rated a perfect game on the Atari 7800, and Pole Position 2 came as a pack-in 1984 when the console released. The Atari 7800 used a CPU called the Atari Sally 6502 and had 4 kilobytes of RAM with dual-channel 2 kilobyte RAM sticks. It also had a built-in 4 kilobyte BIOS ROM and 48 kilobyte cartridges with backwards compatibility that didn't require any additional module for Atari 2600 games. For graphics, the Atari 7800 used a custom Mario chip. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is coming. So what do we know so far about this? The bunkers in Warzone have been opened up because those are actually Cold War bunkers. So we've been getting hints in Warzone about the 2020 Call of Duty. Raven and Sledgehammer were working on this together, and something's gone wrong. We're not sure if it's related to the work at home situation, but allegedly the two software gurus have not been able to see eye to eye on the new vision for Black Ops 5. So Treyarch is actually going to take over, and they're able to reuse a lot of the work that those guys were working on. So we're actually going to be getting Cold War this November on time. Likely we'll see a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version of the game as well. And we've also got word that although it is a Cold War game, it's mostly taking place in the Vietnam sections. Earlier this year, Serious Sam arrived on Stadia. We've just found out that Serious Sam 4 will be a Stadia exclusive when it launches in August. Shout out to Crow Team. The Serious Sam games are some of my favorite games. Woob Software for the Czech Republic has cracked down on G2A. G2A is what's known as a gray market, in that it's in between the black and white areas of totally legitimate and illegitimate. Unfortunately, a lot of game codes can be obtained much cheaper from the website because of region locks and other issues like that. However, a large amount of games are being sold after swiping stolen credit cards. In order to satisfy the game industry that they're not doing this on purpose, G2A allowed for an internal audit of their numbers and found nearly 200 illegitimate sales for the game Factorio from Czech-based developer Woob Software. So Woob Software has been complaining about $40,000 worth of chargebacks, and G2A has made right and paid out that amount. Now, does this change things going forward? They're sort of like an eBay of codes, and they don't really care where they got the codes. They just allow you to sell them. Probably not a coincidence. Epic Games announced today they'll be having keyless partnership as part of the Epic Games Store on PC, meaning that game companies will be able to share review copies and sales with various partner websites such as Green Man Gaming without the need for keys and codes. This should cut down on the amount of illicit trade, and the involvement of G2A with fraud continues to be monitored by game industry. A German retailer has leaked the Days of Play 2020 transaction from Sony. Sony's offering a bunch of special deals for PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 4 VR, and even a special edition PlayStation 4 Slim, as they did last year. During this event, PlayStation Plus will be 30% cheaper to purchase. We don't yet know the full extent of the rest of the offers, but we know that the event will begin May 25th and ends on June 8th. Yesterday was the last day to get GTA 5 for free on the Epic Games Store. Today they've announced that you can get Civilization 6 for free on the Epic Games Store from now until May 28th, 2020. Go download it once and keep it forever.
And now for the quick news. Naughty Dog provided a closer look at the gameplay of The Last of Us 2. Check out our friends over at Gamers Pray on YouTube to see the full 9 minutes in 4K. The Last of Us Part 2 releases June 19th, and rumors are now spreading that Naughty Dog may have hinted at multiple playthroughs being a requirement to experience all of the story. A new Call of Duty Warzone teaser hinted at a new Cold War map being added to Warzone, and Captain Price coming soon as a playable character. Marvel's Iron Man VR got a new gameplay demo. The community has been pretty divided on this one so far. Keep your eyes out, PSVR owners. Iron Man VR releases exclusively for the PS4 on July 3rd, 2020. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath also got a new gameplay trailer ahead of its May 26th release. The expansion introduces new story elements as well as new characters like Fujin, who was able to earn the respect of Johnny Cage. And now it's time for RGN Analysis, where we break down one industry topic per day.
Today I want to talk about video game preservation of multiplayer games. Now, I know that it costs a lot of money to keep servers going for titles like Call of Duty, Warhawk, Battlefield, etc. And I also know that game companies need to make money during the process, and eventually they'll need to shut those games down. PlayStation 2 games, example, if you try to go play multiplayer right now, you can't play it. There's nothing to connect to. However, what most people don't know is that there's actually multiple different types of servers. There are the resource servers, which nowadays are usually peer-to-peer connection, which means that if you're playing like a PlayStation 4 game online, your PlayStation 4 is actually hosting the connection to everyone in the match's game. That's why when somebody quits who was the host, it may need a moment to switch hosts, or it may just cancel the entire match. But there's also login servers. And login servers are the bane of the existence of multiplayer games for preservation purposes, because once a game goes offline, which requires login servers, for example, if a game goes offline that requires logon servers like Halo, for example, you will not actually be able to play the game anymore, simply because when the game first boots up, it tries to log in to grab things like your profile, how many kills you've gotten, how many miles you've walked, stuff like that, maybe what weapons you have unlocked depending on the game. But a lot of games from the old school days are more skill-based, balanced games where the items are left on the map. So whoever's profile, what level you are, does not really matter as much in games like that. And all that developers have to really do is provide a patch so that games can be tunneled after it's no longer popular, so that we can host our own servers either through the consoles itself or using PC apps. Back in the day we had GameSpy, and there are other ones nowadays which are used to tunnel in order to trick the console into thinking that it's on a local area network connection when it's actually connecting online. In today's community comments, we do have a comment from Sarkis Hajan, who says a 90-year-old doing video game live stream is quite impressive. Do you think you'll try to beat her record? Yes.
And now for the good news, where we give you today's positive side of gaming. In today's good news, gaming for the blind. Ubisoft announced the Blind Initiative on their YouTube channel today and described it as a game engine update implementing features that will allow blind people to play their games. This is the result of over 2 years of progress at Ubisoft. Now we have an objective to reach internal standards of accessibility by 2020, announced in May 2018 by project manager within corporate social and responsibility team at Ubisoft. We must provide a positive and long-lasting gaming experience to all players regardless of their physical or mental condition. It's a priority for us as a company that our games are accessible to everyone in the world, said Ubisoft CEO. The technology currently being worked on by the Blind Initiative works by adding accessibility features requested by the severely vision impaired, but will also work to provide dimensional audio cues that can allow a fully blind person to play mainstream games side by side with their friends without missing a beat. There are even technologies on the future horizon which can tap into the synapse of the brain to stimulate visual images from a computer simulation. This technology is currently in testing and allows a blind person to not only see video games, but also virtual reality. Scientists hope that using cameras, sensors, high-powered 3D simulation software, People born blind or afflicted with severe vision impairment will be able to see the real world in crystal clarity as well. In addition, those who use this computer vision will be able to overlay enhanced information on top of the real world, similar to augmented reality glasses being worked on by Apple and Google. Currently, this tech is in the cost-prohibitive prototype phase, but as the consumer electronics and military economies fuel the evolution of tech factories, it is inevitable that this will become mainstream over time. Ubisoft also announced that they are open to working with other companies on the project, such as Microsoft, who are now well known for their adaptive controller, which enables special needs peoples of all types to be able to play video games they never thought possible.
What's up, everybody? It's John again. Thanks for checking out this video and supporting Real Gamer News. If you like our stuff, click the like button below and get subscribed if you're new here. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. Peace. RGN is a global gamer society operating since 2011 with millions of page views and thousands of interviews, reviews, etc., working with major industry partners as well as providing an indie spotlight. We are launching our new YouTube series, so like and subscribe today. And for detailed write-ups of the tech and game industry, visit our new website, RealGamerNewz.com. Until next time, keep it real, keep it gaming. Peace.